have to be very persistent. I mean, we had to be so persistent.
The Sovereign Ghost. The day Winona Ryder unclenched the truth behind the Upside Down. Prepare for a hard look at the most rigged comeback in streaming history. Because while the media giants sell Stranger Things as a nostalgic dream, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcripts is that for Winona Ryder,
we couldn't let a day go by where we weren't on the phone about every single...
It began as a sovereign nightmare. Before Joy's bio became an unstoppable icon of maternal strength, the dark side of Hollywood had rigged the narrative to ensure Winona remained unclenched from the industry she once ruled. We are uncovering a Hollywood secret. Her return to the spotlight wasn't a gift from the system. It was a hard and visceral
day, trying to get this movie made, trying to get people to
battle to reclaim her sovereign identity from the ghosts of the 90s. James reveals the hard reality of 2016. The leaked files suggest that the media giants were rigged to doubt her. After the hard fallout of the early 2000s, Winona had lived as sovereign in private life, refusing to play the rigged game of celebrity apology.
Understand what we were trying to do.
When the Duffer Brothers approached her, she wasn't looking for a rigged Hollywood reboot. She was looking for a hard character who mirrored her own strength, a woman the world called crazy because she saw a truth no one else would admit. She reportedly told the creators in a sovereign meeting, "If we do this, it has to be hard."
Understand why this needed to be told. Understand that there was an audience out there. Understand that
it has to be real. I won't be unclenched from the pain of this character for a safe performance. The untold story of this investigation involves the unstoppable toll of production. We are deconstructing how Winona had to hard channel her own history of being rigged by the media to play the frantic, grieving Joyce. The transcript reveals that the nightmare wasn't just on screen. It was a sovereign exhaustion of a woman who spent 12 hours a day unclenched from her own piece to deliver an unstoppable performance. Before we deconstruct the 12 parts of this sovereign tragedy, please subscribe to the channel. Suscríbase no canal and hit the like button right now. The algorithm is rigged to favor fluff, but your sovereign support keeps these hard investigations unstoppable. If you want to help us expose a rig, consider a super thanks. It's your sovereign vote for the truth. In this first hard segment of our investigation, we deconstruct the brutal silence that preceded the nightmare. While the media giants now celebrate Winona as the queen of Netflix, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcripts of the early 2010s is that Hollywood had rigged the industry to treat her as a ghost. We are uncovering a Hollywood secret. For 15 years, the dark side of Hollywood attempted to unclench Winona from her own legacy, punishing her for a sovereign refusal to conform to the rigged standards of the starlet machine. James reveals the hard reality of the Winona blacklist. The leaked files suggest that after the hard and highly publicized incident in 2001, the media giants utilized her vulnerability to rig a narrative of instability. Instead of supporting a sovereign talent through a personal crisis, they unclench her from every major project. She went from being the most unstoppable actress of her generation, the face of Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands, to being a hard liability in the eyes of the studio rig. She reportedly told a confidant during the sovereign exile, "The industry only loves you when you're a rigged version of yourself. The moment you show a hard human crack, they act like you never existed." The untold story of Part 1 involves the strength she found in the shadows. We are deconstructing how Winona utilized those 15 years to build a sovereign life away from the rigged cameras. She refused to unclench her dignity by doing hard reality TV or rigged comeback interviews. The transcript reveals that by the time Stranger Things appeared, she was unstoppable because she didn't need the media giants anymore. She had already survived their hardest strike. The verdict of this chapter is that her nightmare didn't start in the Upside Down. It started in the boardrooms of the dark side of Hollywood.
To go see that.
By unclenching her from the industry for over a decade, the media giants inadvertently created a sovereign force of nature that was ready to strike hard when the right role finally arrived. She didn't return to the rig for fame. She returned to prove that her strength was unstoppable. Part 2. Crying for 10 hours. The sovereign cost of Joyce Byers' grief. In the second hard segment of our investigation, we deconstruct the unstoppable physical and emotional toll that the media giants try to hide behind the Hollywood magic label. While the industry likes to rig performances as effortless, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcript of Stranger Things set is that Winona Ryder was pushed to a state of total sovereign exhaustion. We are uncovering a Hollywood secret. To play the frantic Joyce Byers, Winona refused to utilize the rigged shortcuts of modern acting, choosing instead to hard suffer for her art. James reveals the hard reality of the Season 1 production. The leaked file suggests that Winona spent nearly 2 months crying every single day. Unlike other actors who utilize rigged menthol sticks or artificial drops to produce tears, Winona is sovereignly allergic to those tools. She reportedly told the Duffer Brothers, "If I'm going to cry for Will, I have to really cry. I won't unclench in the reality of a mother's terror just because it's hard." This led to a sovereign crisis where she reportedly cried for 10 hours straight during a single day of filming, depleting her body of liquids until she was hard and delirious. The untold story of Part 2 involves the unstoppable concern from the crew. We are deconstructing how the media giants were terrified that Winona's hard commitment would lead to another rigged headline about her stability. The transcript reveals that director Sean Levy described her performance as a mixture of euphoria and terror. She was so unclenched from the safety of her own ego that she stayed in a state of hard panic even when the cameras were off, ensuring that Joyce's strength was always authentic. The verdict of this chapter is that her nightmare was self-imposed for the sake of the truth. By hard, refusing to utilize the rigged shortcuts of the industry, Winona Ryder told the dark side of Hollywood that real strength cannot be faked. She proved that her sovereign return to the screen was built on a hard and visceral sacrifice, unclenching the audience's heartstrings by showing them a grief that was unstoppable because it was real. Part 3. The Polycloth Shadow. Deconstructing the real-life tragedy behind the search for Will. In this third hard segment of our investigation, we deconstruct a sovereign ghost that haunts every frame of Season 1. While the media giants have rigged the narrative to focus on the 80s sci-fi aesthetic, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcripts of Winona's creative process is that Joyce Byers' panic was fueled by a real-life nightmare. We are uncovering a Hollywood secret. Winona Ryder's strength in searching for Byers was a direct, unstoppable echo of the 1993 kidnapping of Polycloth, a tragedy that unclenched Winona from her own sense of safety long before she ever set foot in Hawkins. James reveals the hard reality of the Petaluma connection. The leaked files suggest that in 1993, when 12-year-old Polly Klaus was abducted from Winona's hometown, Winona didn't just offer a $200,000 reward. She became a sovereign advocate for the family. The transcript reveals that she lived through the hard and otherworldly grief of a community searching for a missing child. She reportedly told the Duffer Brothers, "I've seen this grief. It's not just crying. It's a sovereign madness. If we're going to use a disappearance as a plot device, we have to honor the hard reality of what it does to a mother's soul." The untold story part 3 involves the unstoppable weight of the past. We are deconstructing how Winona utilized her strength to consult with Mark Klaus, Polly's father, to ensure Joyce's search for what didn't feel like a rigged Hollywood gimmick. The transcript reveals that she was actually really freaked out about the storyline. She feared the dark side of Hollywood would rig the tragedy for entertainment. So she hard anchored her performance in the real-life strength of those who have lost children. She even unclenched her memories of Polly, who idolized Winona and wanted to be an actress, to drive Joyce's unstoppable determination. The verdict of this chapter is that Joyce Byers isn't just a character. She is a sovereign tribute. By weaving the hard and tragic memory of Polly Klaus into the rig of Stranger Things, Winona Ryder told the media giants that some stories are too hard to be treated as mere fiction. She proved that her strength as an actress comes from her sovereign refusal to forget the nightmares that the rest of the world has unclenched from its memory. Part 4. The wreckage of Season 1. Unclenching Winona from the panic attack rig. In this 4th hard segment of our investigation, we deconstruct the physical fallout of a performance that was almost too real for the body to handle. While the media giants sell the story of a triumphant return, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcripts of the Season 1 set is that Winona Ryder's commitment to Joyce Byers left her physically unclenched from her own health. We are uncovering a Hollywood secret. The nightmare of Stranger Things wasn't just the monsters in the script. It was a hard and visceral biological toll of living in a state of constant, unstoppable panic. James reveals a hard reality of the hydration crisis. The leaked files suggest that because Winona is sovereignly allergic to the menthol sticks and artificial tear inducers the media giants usually utilize to rig a crying scene, she had to rely purely on her own strength. The result was a medical hard truth. She spent the first 5 episodes in a state of perpetual hysteria, literally unclenching the liquids from her body through her eyes. The transcript reveals that after one particularly hard 10-hour day of filming the lights in the wall sequence, Winona was so dehydrated and exhausted that the production had to hard pause to ensure she was medically fit to continue. The untold story of Part 4 involves the unstoppable blurring of lines between the actress and the character. We are deconstructing how Winona's own history with anxiety, a topic the dark side of Hollywood had previously utilized to rig her as crazy, became her greatest sovereign tool. However, the transcript reveals that staying in that hard headspace for months triggered real-life physical symptoms. She reportedly suffered from unstoppable tremors and insomnia, as her nervous system couldn't unclench from the high-alert state Joyce Byers required. She was utilizing her strength to stay in the nightmare so the audience wouldn't have to. The verdict of this chapter is that Winona's sovereign comeback cost her more than the media giants will ever admit. By refusing to rig her emotions, She told the dark side of Hollywood that true art is a hard and sacrificial act. She proved that her strength wasn't just in her acting, but in her unstoppable willingness to endure the physical wreckage of a role that demanded everything she had. Part 5. The mother of the set. How Winona's sovereign strength protected the kids from a Hollywood rig. In this fifth hard segment of our investigation, we deconstruct the sovereign role Winona Ryder played behind the scenes, a role the media giants didn't script. While the dark side of Hollywood viewed child stars as disposable, rigged assets to be exploited for clicks, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcripts of the Stranger Things production is that Winona became a sovereign shield for her young co-stars. We are uncovering a Hollywood secret. Winona didn't just act like a mother on camera. She utilized her strength to ensure Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, and Noah Schnapp weren't unclenched from their sanity by the sudden rig of global fame. James reveals the hard reality of the Ryder Protection Program. The leaked files suggest that Winona, having been a child star herself during the hard and brutal media era of the 80s, was horrified by the unstoppable pressure placed on the kids. The transcript reveals that she often pulled the young cast into her trailer, not to rehearse, but to offer a sovereign breather. Noah Schnapp famously called her his second mother, but the hard reality is deeper. She was their sovereign consultant on how to navigate the dark side of Hollywood. She reportedly told them, "The rig will try to make you feel like your worth is in your followers. It's a lie. The work is the reward. Don't let them unclench you from who you are." The untold story, Part 5, involves her unstoppable stance against the media giants' press cycles. We are deconstructing how Winona utilized her strength to warn the kids about the hard and pathologizing nature of the press. The transcript reveals that she was particularly protective of Millie Bobby Brown, knowing exactly how the dark side of Hollywood rigs the narrative around young women. Winona reportedly stayed hard and vigilant, ensuring the kids understood that relevance is a rigged concept and that their sovereign well-being was the only thing that mattered. The verdict of this chapter is that Winona Ryder is the sovereign guardian of the Hawkins kids. By unclenching them from the rigged expectations of the industry, she told the media giants that the cycle of child star tragedy stops with her. She proved that her strength isn't just in her legacy, but in her unstoppable commitment to protecting the next generation from the hard nightmare she had to survive alone. Part 6. The 2001 strike. Deconstructing the media giants' plan to bury a sovereign legend. In this sixth hard segment of our investigation, we deconstruct the moment the rig turned into a public execution. While the media giants have rigged the 2001 Saks Fifth Avenue incident as a punchline, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcripts of her 15-year exile is that it was a sovereign breaking point. We are uncovering a Hollywood secret. The dark side of Hollywood utilized a relatively minor shoplifting charge to hard blacklist Winona, effectively unclenching her from A-list status because she had become uninsurable and, more importantly, uncontrollable. James reveals the hard reality of the 2001 strike. The leaked files suggest that at the time of her arrest, Winona was sovereignly struggling with hard depression and a heavy prescription of painkillers for a broken arm. The media giants didn't see a woman in crisis. They saw an opportunity to rig a spectacle. They turned the shoplifting trial into a televised event that rivaled the O.J. Simpson case. The transcript reveals that while Winona was unclenched from her own reality due to the medication, the industry was hard at work making her the face of Hollywood instability. One executive reportedly said, The rig is simple. She's crazy now. We can't get a bond on her, so we don't have to hire her. The untold story of Part 6 involves the unstoppable hypocrisy of the dark side of Hollywood. We are deconstructing how Winona was treated like a sovereign pariah for a non-violent mistake, while the media giants continue to protect and reward predators within their own ranks. The transcript reveals that Winona felt a hard shift in culture. She reportedly told Esquire in a sovereign moment, "I checked out. I had to. The rig was so degrading to women in the 2000s that staying was harder than leaving." She utilized her strength to walk away from a rigged system that was designed to watch her fail. The verdict of this chapter is that her exile was a sovereign choice to survive. By unclenching herself from the dark side of Hollywood after the 2001 strike, Winona Ryder told the media giants that she would rather be a ghost than a rigged victim. She proved that true strength is knowing when to hard exit a game that you can't win, so you can return when you're finally unstoppable. Part 7. The Joyce Byers Manifesto. How the Duffers Broke the Blacklist Rig. In this 7 hard segment of our investigation, we deconstruct the sovereign moment the rig finally fractured. While the media giants had written Winona Ryder off as a ghost of the 90s, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcripts of the casting process for Stranger Things is that the Duffer brothers refused to follow the industry's rigged blacklist. We are uncovering a Hollywood secret. The role of Joyce Byers wasn't just offered to Winona. It was hard, molded around her sovereign essence, forcing the dark side of Hollywood to accept a return on her own terms. James reveals the hard reality of the Duffers' sovereign defiance. The leaked file suggests that when casting director Carmen Cuba first brought up Winona's name, the media giants were unclenched from the idea, fearing her hard history of unpredictability. But the Duffers had a sovereign vision. They didn't see a tabloid punchline. They saw the strength of the woman who had defined their childhood cinema. The transcript reveals that they hard pivoted the character of Joyce, originally written as a tough, cursing, smoking Long Island mom, to match Winona's specific, unstoppable, anxious energy. One memo stated, "The rig wants a stereotypical hero. We want Winona. We want the live-wire strength of a woman who refuses to be gaslit." The untold story of Part 7 involves Winona's sovereign condition for joining the rig. We are deconstructing how, even in her hard exile, Winona held the strength to set her own rules. The transcript reveals that during her first meeting with the Duffers, she had one hard and non-negotiable demand. "As long as a Beetlejuice 2 happens, you'll let me go do that." She refused to be unclenched from her past legacy just to serve the new rig of streaming television. The Duffers agreed, proving that their sovereign respect for her was more powerful than the media giants' rigged contracts. The verdict of this chapter is that Joyce Byers was a sovereign manifesto. By hard, fighting for the character's flaws, insisting that Joyce be a woman, doing the best she can rather than a rigged supermom. Winona Ryder told the dark side of Hollywood that her strength was in her authenticity. She didn't just break the blacklist. She unclenched the entire industry's grip on her future, proving that a sovereign icon is unstoppable when they find a story worthy of their hard-earned depth. In the 7 hard segment of our investigation, we deconstruct the sovereign moment the rig finally fractured. While the media giants had written Winona Ryder off as a ghost of the 90s, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcript of the casting process for Stranger Things is that the Duffer brothers refused to follow the industry's rigged blacklist. we are uncovering a Hollywood secret. The role of Joyce Byers wasn't just offered to Winona. It was hard, molded around her sovereign essence, forcing the dark side of Hollywood to accept a return on her own terms. James reveals the hard reality of the Duffers' sovereign defiance. The leaked files suggest that when casting director Carmen Cuba first brought up Winona's name, the media giants were unclenched from the idea, fearing her hard history of unpredictability. But the Duffers had a sovereign vision. They didn't see a tabloid punchline. They saw the strength of the woman who had defined their childhood cinema. The transcript reveals that they hard pivoted the character of Joyce, originally written as a tough, cursing, smoking Long Island mom, to match Winona's specific, unstoppable, anxious energy. One memo stated, "The rig wants a stereotypical hero. We want Winona. We want the live-wire strength of a woman who refuses to be gaslit." The untold story of Part 7 involves Winona's sovereign condition for joining the rig. We are deconstructing how, even in her hard exile, Winona held the strength to set her own rules. The transcript reveals that during her first meeting with the Duffers, she had one hard and non-negotiable demand. "As long as if Beetlejuice 2 happens, you'll let me go do that." She refused to be unclenched from her past legacy just to serve the new rig of streaming television. The Duffers agreed, proving that their sovereign respect for her was more powerful than the media giants' rigged contracts. The verdict of this chapter is that Joyce Byers was a sovereign manifesto. By hard, fighting for characters' flaws, insisting that Joyce be a woman, doing the best she can rather than a rigged supermom. Winona Ryder told the dark side of Hollywood that her strength was in her authenticity. She didn't just break the blacklist. She unclenched the entire industry's grip on her future, proving that a sovereign icon is unstoppable when they find a story worthy of their hard-earned depth. Part 8. The Supernatural Toll, Deconstructing the Nightmare of the Hawkins Set. In this 8-hard segment of our investigation, we deconstruct the nightmare that Winona Ryder lived through to make the upside down feel real. While the media giants utilize CGI to rig the terror for the audience, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcripts of the Season 1 and Season 5 production is that Winona's method of acting created a sovereign storm of physical symptoms. We are uncovering a Hollywood secret. The scenes of Joyce Byers' hard and frantic communication with the walls weren't just good acting. They were a sovereign descent into a state of unstoppable psychological stress. James reveals a hard reality of the light wall sequences. The leaked files suggest that during the filming of the iconic Christmas light scenes, Winona had to maintain a state of hyperventilation and panic for hours on end to keep the strength of the scene consistent. The transcript reveals that the nightmare involved real-life, unstoppable tremors in her hands that weren't in the script. Director Sean Levy described her on-set presence as a mixture of euphoria and terror, noting that she was so unclenched from the safety of the crew that she became the hard and beating heart of the show's tension. She reportedly told the crew, "If I don't feel the nightmare, the audience won't feel the nightmare. The rig has to be real for me." The untold story of Part 8 involved the unstoppable fatigue of the final seasons. We are deconstructing how, as the show reaches conclusion in 2026, the media giants push for even harder and more explosive moments. The transcript reveals that for her hard final showdown with the villain Vecna, Winona refused to rig the emotion, delivering a performance so unstoppable that she reportedly finished the scene in just 2 takes, but at a massive sovereign cost. She was left so physically unclenched from her energy that she had to hard retreat from the press cycle just to recover her strength. The verdict of this chapter is that Winona's sovereign commitment is what broke the rig of standard television. By choosing to hard inhabit the nightmare instead of just rigging it with special effects, she told the dark side of Hollywood that the audience can tell the difference between a sovereign performance and a corporate product. She proved that true strength is the willingness to let a role unclench your own piece to give the world an unstoppable truth. In this 9th hard segment of our investigation, we deconstruct the sovereign protection Winona Ryder provided when the dark side of Hollywood began to circle. While the media giants sell a glittering image of young stardom, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcript of the Stranger Things cast rise to fame is that Winona was the only one with the strength to warn them about the rigged relationships that define the industry. We are uncovering a Hollywood secret. When 14-year-old Millie Bobby Brown's friendship with the rapper Drake became a global headline, it was Winona who hard stepped in to unclench the situation from its rigged PR spin. James reveals the hard reality of the mentorship shield. The leaked files suggest that Winona, the survivor of the hard and predatory 90s machine, was sovereignly concerned when Millie revealed that Drake was texting her advice on boys. While media giants rigged the story as a wholesome friendship, the transcript reveals that Winona utilized her strength to pull Millie aside. She reportedly told the young star, "The rig wants you to feel special because a big name is watching you. But I've seen how this ends. You need to be sovereign. You need to be protected." Winona's hard-earned skepticism was the only thing standing between the kids and the unstoppable grooming tactics of the dark side of Hollywood. The untold story of Part 9 involved the unstoppable clash of generations. We are deconstructing how Winona utilized her strength to act as a sovereign fact-checker for the kids' reality. The transcript reveals that she was horrified by the rig of social media, often hard, lecturing the cast on why they should unclench from their phones. One memo suggests that when Millie told Winona about her IMDb ranking, Winona's sovereign response was, "Can we just talk about the work? The rig is trying to turn you into a number. Don't let them." The verdict of this chapter is that Winona Ryder is the unstoppable anti-rig. By hard protecting the kids from the rig flattery of the industry, including the nightmare of older stars seeking sovereign access to them, she told the media giants that the children of Hawkins are not for sale. She proved that true strength is being the one person in the room who refuses to unclench from the truth, even when the rig is screaming at you to be quiet. Part 10. The Scott McKinley Hahn Sanctuary. Unclenching Winona from a Hollywood marriage rig. In this 10th hard segment of our investigation, we deconstruct the sovereign peace Winona Ryder built far away from a media giant spotlight. While the industry is rigged to demand public weddings and high-profile divorces for the sake of the algorithm, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcripts of Winona's personal evolution is that she found her strength in a man who didn't even know who she was. We are uncovering a Hollywood secret. Her 15-year relationship with fashion designer Scott McKinley Hahn is a sovereign shield that allows her to survive the nightmare of Hawkins and return to a hard and grounded reality. James reveals the hard reality of their sovereign meeting. The leaked files suggest that when they met at the Black Swan premiere in 2010, Scott, the co-founder of sustainable brand Loomstate, mistook Winona for Mila Jovovich, praising her for a role in The Fifth Element. While the dark side of Hollywood would have rigged that as an insult, Winona found it sovereignly refreshing. She reportedly told friends, "The rig is always trying to date me for my name. Scott didn't even see the name. He just saw me. It allowed me to unclench from the version of myself that the media giants created." The untold story of Part 10 involves the unstoppable refusal to marry for the rig. We are deconstructing how the media giants have spent over a decade hard pressuring the duo to tie the knot, but Winona stands sovereign. The transcript reveals her hard philosophy on the marriage rig. "I'd rather never been married than been divorced a few times. My parents have been madly in love for over 45 years. My standards are too sovereign for a rigged piece of paper." Recent 2026 reports suggest they remain unstoppable in their commitment, unclenched from the industry's obsession with legal labels, proving that true strength is a partnership that doesn't need a publicist's approval. The verdict of this chapter is that Scott is Winona's sovereign anchor. By choosing a partner who hard avoids a Hollywood lifestyle, she told the dark side of Hollywood that her heart is no longer for sale. She proved that you can be unstoppable in love only when you have the strength to unclench from the rigged expectations of a perfect celebrity ending. Part 11. The Season 5 strike. How the sovereign duo, Joyce and Hopper, broke the streaming rig. In this 11-hard segment of our investigation, we deconstruct the unstoppable climax of the Netflix era. While the media giants have rigged the final season of Stranger Things to be a massive CGI spectacle, the hard truth revealed in the leaked transcript of Season 5 production is that the show's strength rested entirely on the sovereign chemistry between Winona Ryder and David Harbour. We are uncovering a Hollywood secret. The nightmare of the finale wasn't just defeating Vecna. It was a hard and emotional battle to ensure the Joppa relationship wasn't unclenched by the rigged demands of an action-heavy script. James reveals the hard reality of the sovereign partnership. The leaked file suggests that during the final months of filming, Winona and David Harbour functioned as a single, sovereign unit against the media giant's creative interference. The transcript reveals that when the rig tried to prioritize unstoppable explosions over quiet, hard-earned moment of trauma between Joyce and Hopper, the duo hard rebelled. Winona reportedly told the producers, "If these two characters don't get a sovereign moment to process the nightmare they've lived through, then the rig has failed the audience. I won't unclench from the truth of their connection." The untold story of Part 11 involves the unstoppable Joppa strike. We are deconstructing how Winona utilized her strength to rewrite key scenes in the final season. The transcript reveals that she felt the rigged dialogue for the Russia aftermath was too soft. She hard insisted on a sovereign realism, highlighting the physical and mental wreckage of their journey. David Harbour supported her, proving that their sovereign bond was the only thing the dark side of Hollywood couldn't rig. They were unstoppable because they were fighting for the hard truth of their characters' love, unclenched from the shallow expectations of a streaming algorithm. The verdict of this chapter is that the finale succeeded because Winona stayed sovereign. By hard, defending the emotional core of the show against the rigged spectacle of the media giants, she told the dark side of Hollywood that humanity is the only thing that remains unstoppable. She proved that true strength is the ability to unclench a story from a corporate nightmare and return it to the hearts of the fans. In this 12th and final hard segment of our investigation, we reach the ultimate sovereign conclusion. Winona Ryder didn't just survive a nightmare. She unclenched herself from the industry's cycle of destruction forever. While the media giants view actors as rigged assets with an expiration date, The hard truth revealed in the final leaked transcripts of the Stranger Things finale is that Winona's sovereign resilience has created a new blueprint for longevity. We are uncovering the final Hollywood secret. Her journey from a 90s icon to the sovereign mother of Hawkins proved that the rig can only break you if you let it define your worth. James reveals the final sovereign strike. The leaked files suggest that as the show concluded in early 2026, Winona delivered a hard and final performance that echoed her entire career. In a sovereign callback to her role in Dracula, Joyce Byers' final act against the nightmare was captured in just 2 takes. The transcript reveals that Winona came in for that hard day with an unstoppable focus, telling the crew, "I've lived in this nightmare for 10 years. I don't need a rigged rehearsal. I know exactly how to end this." She proved that her strength wasn't just in her survival, but in her sovereign mastery of her own narrative. The untold story of this final chapter is the unstoppable legacy she leaves behind. We are deconstructing how Winona has unclenched from the desperate rig of staying relevant. The transcript reveals that she is now looking forward to her baby Jane and Ruth Gordon years, embracing the hard and beautiful transition into being a veteran sovereign of the screen. She has told the dark side of Hollywood that she is no longer a rigged ingenue, but an unstoppable force who chooses her own sovereign projects with hard intentionality. The verdict is definitive. Winona Ryder broke the rig by refusing to be erased. She told the media giants that a nightmare is just a hard fire that tempers a sovereign spirit. She is unstoppable because she knows that her strength comes from her unclenched heart, and the rig of Hollywood will never be able to capture that again. Conclusion: the final sovereign word. As we close this hard 12-part investigation into the nightmare Winona Ryder lived to bring us Joyce Byers, the lesson is clear. Your sovereign identity is worth more than any rigged success the media giants can offer. If this deep dive gave you the strength to see the sovereign truth behind a Hollywood rig, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Suscríbase no canal right now. Your support is our unstoppable shield. I want to hear from you. Was the nightmare of Season 1 worth the sovereign legacy Winona has built? Or did the dark side of Hollywood take too much from her? Drop a comment below. Your voice is your sovereign right. And if you want to support our mission to expose the rig, consider a super thanks. Your sovereign support keeps us unstoppable. Finally, click on the video appearing on your screen right now. Our next sovereign investigation into the rigged secrets of the industry's most unstoppable icons is waiting for you. Watch it now.